All right, today we're diving into one of the biggest energy stories happening on the planet right now. We're talking about India's incredible plan to completely revolutionize its nuclear power. This isn't just an upgrade, it's a quest to secure its entire energy future.
So, right out of the gate, you need to understand that what India is putting on the table is a massive deal. It's a fundamental shift in how the country is going to power itself. And believe me, the scale of this plan has the entire world watching very, very closely.
So first, let's just try to wrap our heads around the sheer scale of this ambition. This is so much more than just another infrastructure project. It's really being framed as a defining national mission for the 21st century.
And to really get it, you've got to look at the numbers, because that's where this whole thing goes from being a powerful idea to a concrete and, honestly, a world-changing target.
Okay, so let's set the baseline. Right now, India's entire nuclear energy setup generates just 8.8 gigawatts. That's the starting line. Now, it's a respectable number for sure, but it is about to look tiny compared to where they're headed.
And here it is. The goal? 100 gigawatts. You heard that right. We are not talking about a small, steady increase here. This is more than a 10-fold jump from today. It is a massive, exponential leap forward.
So, why the year 2047? Well, that date is no accident. It's actually deeply symbolic. It'll mark the 100th anniversary of India's independence, which ties this huge technological goal directly into the nation's identity and its vision for the next 100 years.
So the big question is, how on earth does a country even begin to pull off something this massive? Well, it turns out there's a pretty clear three-part blueprint that combines old-school methods with some really bold new strategies.
The plan is basically a mix of the traditional and the brand new. So first, they're going to build new, conventional, large-scale reactors, the workhorses of the industry. Second, they're embracing a newer, more flexible technology called small modular reactors, or SMRs. These are way faster to build, and you can put them in more places. And third, and this is a huge policy shift, they're opening up the whole sector to private investment, from about 10 to 12 major companies for the first time ever. The idea is to bring in a ton of fresh cash and new ideas.
Now, to make all that private investment possible, you can't just snap your fingers. A really critical piece of legislation, the SHANTI Act, has already been passed. This is a historic milestone, basically unlocking the door for private companies to jump into a sector that's always been run by the state. It's a move that's designed to speed things up dramatically. And this isn't just some plan on a whiteboard for the distant future. In fact, a huge, historic step forward has already been taken. A major technological breakthrough just happened down at the Kalpakkam facility, and it proves this whole thing is already in motion.
What we're talking about here is something called a prototype fast breeder reactor. Now, to put it simply, this thing is a total game changer because it actually creates more atomic fuel than it uses up. That is a massive leap forward. It could solve the whole long-term problem of fuel supply and really cut down on waste, paving the way for truly sustainable, clean energy. And just earlier this month, this exact reactor in Kalpakkam achieved its first ever controlled nuclear reaction. This wasn't just a win for India, it's being called a landmark moment in the global history of clean energy.
So when you put all these pieces together, you've got the crazy ambitious goal, the smart three-part plan, and these recent breakthroughs, the full picture of this race to 2047 really starts to come into focus.
So what this all boils down to is India making a massive bet on atomic power. They see it as nuclear, which means it's clean, creating no carbon emissions, and maybe most importantly, it's stable. It's a reliable source of power that can fuel a nation of over 1 billion people 24/7.
This is a plan with incredible vision and scale, one that's really aiming to redefine India's energy independence and its role in the global fight against climate change. But the ambition is matched only by the incredible challenge of actually pulling it off. And that leaves us with the one ultimate question: can it deliver?